always was. And limit, I don't know what that sign said. I don't know what that sign said, but I know I have a whole huge gigabyte SD card in my phone that I purchased for this. But still, I've been getting, my stuff is not backed up messages. I don't know how to set it, all this, whatever. Like, the phone companies are just not as helpful as I need them to be when I'm trying to function certain stuff. And I don't know all the stuff. And I'm here by myself with no help from younger minds who do this kind of stuff on a daily basis and twiddle around with these things. So I'm hopefully my video is still recording. It still says I got, time ticking on here. So I got a notification twice and I didn't get to read it because it flashed by so fast. And I don't have the best vision, but I do have vision. My physical vision is not as good as my vision, but I'm able to see. So the things that I get naturally and the things that I got gifted with and the things that I earned from being here and exceeding limits, yeah, they're worthy. They're worthy to be told. They're worthy to be shared. The ancestors said that's why I have you here. And so that's why I'm here. And I'm going to continue to come here and I'm going to grow myself. And I'm going to continue to know myself and learn all the aspects of my being, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, so that I may be able to share those with the people who may need them and can take from them and can draw from them, because I'm a powerful being all by myself. I'm a powerful being all by myself. And ashe to that, because I know. Yes, and I give thanks. And I honor that. And I honor my life givers. Yeah. Didn't bathe today. This ain't from sweat. This is just inside out, Inside out. That light, that's what's in here. That light, that glow, that camera, that show, that's what's in here. We don't do nothing for this. We don't even take care of this properly. And that's another thing that I'm getting on this live every time. Not live, because eventually I'd rather be going live because it feels like at least I'm talking to somebody, but whatever. I'm getting on this platform regularly so that I could regularly check me. I check me. I don't need nobody to check me. And so this is the things that people don't generally do for themselves. They wait until somebody else got to check them, checkmate them, or get them in check, or find them, to get on the right path and help out the growth. And no, we got to learn how to do this on our own. Like, I feel like people who haven't been through nothing can't really relate to me. If you sit on a little cushy couch all your life, you came home from school, you ain't had no problems, 2 parents, 1 parent, or whatever things going on, normal so-called in your life, you're not going to be able to relate to me. Because the things that I've been through, people say, who are you? I just had my assistant, a lady who has another title in my experience, but her title doesn't mandate who she is in my world. My title for her mandates who she is in my world and how she operates in my world and how I allow that to take place in my world. So she has a title that she goes by, but I have a title that I know she is, and she's my assistant. So she said that to me yesterday, was it? Probably was yesterday. It was. She's like, who are you? I'm impressed. Who are you? Like, people say that in passing. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. And I get it all the time. People, it's something about you. Yes, it is. But I can't help you figure that out. That's for you to figure out. It's not for me to tell you what it is about me. It's not for me to itemize all the details and synopsis that comprises how and who I am. It's for you to figure it out. And most times people don't figure out their own selves, so they can't figure out nobody else. They have a hard time even working their own brain. So trying to work somebody else's or figure out how somebody else's work is null and void. null and void. And so I'm just grateful and thankful that I've had this opportunity to still be. Because it was a time in my life where I was begging and pleading to take me. Take me from this misery. Take me from this misery that I was experiencing, because on too many occasions it just didn't set right with me. It just did not set right in my soul. I just knew this was not supposed to be going on. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is not what, like, are you kidding me type shit. Like, yeah. Many a times. And not in the past 7 years, but just 7 years ago. Now, that was the last and final that I will ever have the emotion. And I'm sure of that, because I've learned now many things that I didn't even know 7 years ago. When I was begging to please end it. Please end this for me. Don't let me wake up. I'm tired of breathing this bullshit. You know? That was right after the loss of Morris. The loss of Morris made me not want to care about nothing. No grandchildren, nobody else, no nothing. And I love my grandbabies. I love my children and my grandbabies. But the loyalty and the love that I have from that one being that I birthed doesn't compare to none else on this plane. None. And because I lost him, I didn't want to be here, because I knew the hell that I would go through, because I didn't have that, and I still don't have that with no other being on the planet. None. I don't know if it'll ever come after him in that magnitude. I don't. But I'm here for the long haul, and I'll figure it out. And I'm going to be okay with it, even if it never happens. I'm going to be okay with it. I willed and I wish. I willed and I wish, and I keep my Mo Bear close. I keep my Mo Bear close. He on my bed, because we love him. Uh-oh. See what happens when you mess with stuff? The stick doesn't want to stay up. But it's okay. I will figure this tripod thing out. Just give me a second, y'all. If you don't mind. Let me figure it out with mine. And that's why I'm going to get the help I need. I'm going to get the proper help I need. Because that Jeff dude that jumped in on my scenario, this man trying to get with me, like, come on, y'all. This is the problem I have with males. And all males are pretty much the same. I don't reach many men. I don't reach many men. I reach many males. MALE MAIL MAYL MAHELL. What the hell? I mean, like, really. Like, bruh, we're not compatible. I'm so tired of telling people that. I am so tired of telling people that. And they just get angry. I know rejection is so bitch. I know. I have a problem with abandonment and rejection. So I know. But what I know is I'm not sitting in my bedroom looking for Morris Chestnut. I'm not. Even though that's the caliber of man that I feel I deserve. I'm not sitting in my bedroom looking for Morris Chestnut. Because I know that I'm not in Morris Chestnut's calibre at this point in my space. So I wish those who need to learn stay up out of my face. So as kind as he was, you know, people are kind with agendas. People are kind with no brains, no mind. People are kind with no realization of real time. Yeah, people could be kind about a lot of things. But that don't mean a thing. Because as soon as you tell him the truth, you know, he didn't get out of sorts with me or anything, but he told me that I why do I refuse love? Like I won't, like what? Man, if you don't get your pink, I'm gonna say it, pink ass on somewhere talking about refusing love. I don't know you. You ain't got to love me. You don't have to like me. Whoever said that you had the opportunity to love me? I mean, in depth. You could love me just like I love everybody. That don't mean I like they ass. So he told me that why does it feel like I won't let people love me? Like, man, if you don't get your pink ass on, and that ain't the kind of love I need, looking for, or ask for. I ain't asked you to love nothing but love you. Love you, Jeff. I ain't even give Jeff my damn channel link because Jeff, what I'm talking about don't relate to you. What I'm talking about don't concern you. What I'm talking about ain't to you. Really, you can't do nothing with. You could do something with, but I mean, like, your mental capacity has to be where it is in order, I mean, it has to be in a certain space in order for you to even be interested in what I'm having to say. You interested in looking at me. You trying to, as I said, men have said to me before, inhabit me. Man, get your pink ass on. We don't got time for that. We not about to play with you. And you're a grown individual. And if I'm hurting your feelings, check your mama for raising a pussy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So, I don't expect to hear from Jeff. And I don't care. It's nothing new to me. It's a daily function as far as I'm concerned. I meet them, the toads, and I send them on their road. I meet them, the toads, and I send them on their road. Because even though he said he would help me do this, he would help me do that, it was contingent upon if I was interested in him, likely. And I never made any indication that I was interested in him. And people don't know their place, and people don't know how to handle just meeting and greeting. People don't know how to do that. And, you know, either you're too friendly or you're standoffish, and like, people don't have a balance. People don't have a balance. I meet people every day. I meet all kinds of people because I love, 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 love people. That don't mean I like them. After I meet them and I get to know what's on the inside, that don't mean I like them or I gotta continue to deal with them. It's you're gonna attract and draw all types of individuals of any plethora in the plane to you if you got the right light, if you carry yourself in a certain way. But it's your determination. See, these D words are to trick you, and I don't use them. I don't write them when I'm writing, and when I do, I break them up with numerological, with the numbers, because this language is not ours. This is not ours. We didn't create this. Our language is telepathic. It was always telepathic. And so, because they gave us these spells and curses to use while we navigate on this plane, we actually creating boxes that we stay in, that we don't even realize we're in, that we don't get out of because we've been taught to get in these boxes and stay your ass right over here in this box. And this is the box for you. No, not me. Not we, not us, not her, not she, not me. But yeah, so Jeff is out of here pretty much. Jeff tried to come to see me yesterday. We had already arranged for a time, and he tried to call me 2 hours prior because he didn't have his stuff together. No, Jeff, I got you blocked in for a certain window. I don't have those kind of timelines and hours to be shifting around my schedule. We didn't plan this, and no. So, while he tried to reach me earlier than what our intended timeline was, I wasn't available. And then he became unavailable. And then when you start misaligning with energies, then you know for sure that this is not the energy for you. Move on. I have no problem with that. Excuse me. I didn't even know but I'm not exposed. But I am on my bed. And I didn't know. But yeah, move on when energies start misaligning. That means that you have limited common thread. Limited. Don't waste your time. Now, I meet a million people. Do I end up retaining a lot of the relationships? No, I don't, because a million people on the planet don't even have a clue where they're going and what they're trying to do. And if they do, a lot of times our paths are not parallel. And so I'm okay with parting ways. And when the fork comes, I go my way. I don't have no problem with that. I've never had a problem with that. I mean, I've learned to not have a problem with that. Like, not that I've never had a problem with that. That's a lie. I've grown to not have a problem with that. I've learned to not have a problem with that. I'm mature enough to not have a problem with that. And so, yeah, Jeff tried it. They all try it. They all come to try it. You know, I guess I got on my forehead, try me. I don't know. Because maybe I'm too damn friendly. The man, another person I meet recently, asked me, am I friendly? Yes, I'm too damn friendly. That's the problem. Excuse me. I'm too friendly. Trying to get back in front of my light. Too friendly. That's the problem. But I'm friendly only to get to know where people are really coming from. I'm friendly to get to know what kind of people I'm around. I have access to who you are. If you have resources that we can pull from each other and help and share and build and grow with each other. And that's only the goal I have in most cases when I'm meeting people. But people always got another agenda. If they see something they like, maybe they feel like they entitled to it. That don't mean your ass is entitled to it. It doesn't. It does not. People are so unlearned. And that's the problem I have with us, most people. But anyway, back to me and not about Jeff. Because Jeff is out of here. If I see Jeff again or not, it doesn't matter to me. Because I didn't want nothing from Jeff. I mean, Jeff was offering all of his services and trying to infiltrate my space with his whatever. That was never happening. And so I'm very welcoming to people's spirits. I'm open. But I will shut you out real good, real quick. If it doesn't benefit and it's not going in a direction, I-rection. See, this is even so much harder than writing, because now as I'm speaking and flowing, because I usually am only just writing in my text or writing on my threads or whatever. And I'm not really speaking out this language. So I have a guide inside that when I'm writing, that autonomously, now that I've been doing this for several years, iters me from writing these DIE prefix words, because they are spells and they are curses and they are encapsulating. And I am not with that, with this language. I don't plan on being played with this language. And I don't play with this language. And I have some other goals and agendas that I'm going to ultimately get to, is my plan. But if I don't get here and be done with this, I'll never get to the next stage and the next phase. So this is very important that I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do. And Jeff said he was going to come and be my cameraman. And Jeff said this and Jeff said that. And Jeff doesn't keep his words to his own self. So I don't expect Jeff to keep words that he speaks to me. Like, this is where people need to grow and learn. Like, if you're not committed to you, you can't be committed to nothing and nobody else. And this is my goal. I'm getting 100% committed to me. Right now, I'm about a good 75% committed to Roy. A good 75%. I've made it this far. I got a 25% more to go. And while I'm getting to that next 25% of completion of the 100%, I'm going to be showing up here regularly, sharing my experiences, because my experiences are valid. And if I don't talk about them, nobody will know that somebody else out there has experienced the same thing, or potentially has gone through and grown through some of the same type of experience. Now, yes, nobody's isolated in life. Everybody is experiencing something. Nothing is new under the sun. But everybody's situation is specific to their own self and situation. And so being a survivor, a survivor of a victim of trauma 3 times over, 3 times over, with my mother, father, and my son. And prior to that, my best friend in high school, before I could ever learn about transitioning and what it really means. In this same month that's approaching, I lost her September, years prior to my mother's transition, just a couple years prior to my mother's transition. So it started very early with me to experience death and losing people. Because I didn't just lose people to death, I lost people to 10-year sentences in legal captivity systems very early in my life. High school, started as an early adult. And it just was like, damn, why everybody that I love and care about got to get away from me, got to get taken from me? Why? And I continue to go through that, and I continue to go through that, and I continue to go through that for years and decades of my life. Icades. Goodness gracious, bear with me, because eventually I'm not going to be saying the D words when I'm speaking. Because now, as the more I speak, the more fluent I become, the more regularly I come here, the more my brain will click and tick to not even speak that. My brain will get me together. Because it catches me every time after it's already out my mouth. But ultimately, it's going to get to a place where I'm going to not even speak it. It'll be formulated in my thought in the right energy before it even flows out of my life force. Life and death. Life and death, speak life. Even if you got to rearrange your life to speak life. Rearrange your life to speak life. That's what's necessary based on what they have set up for you. I'm just going to leave it at that. And so since I've known and grown into these spaces and places in my vessel and this being in this experience, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. So I have my altars for my ancestors. I honor them because they sacrificed for me. And I share with them. I share with them as much as I remember, and I'm not harping on them as much as I would hope not to be. But people have said to me, I care more about people that's close to me, that should know me, that should be trying to learn something from me, have said to me, I care more about the dead than I do about the living. I wonder why is that? I wonder why is that? And why would you feel so slighted by that? Because where I'm sitting, the dead is more loyal and supportive to me than the living. Go figure. So yeah, coming from this 20-year-old wounded little girl who lost her mother while having had birthed her second child, and her first child being with her mother when her mother was murdered. Having to travel by myself because I was so supposedly grown. But I had never yet traveled by myself. Well, yeah. I had never yet traveled by myself. But my own maternal grandmother would travel without me to my mother's place of residence where she was murdered at, with my child in her custody, without me. Left me behind. I didn't have finances. It was my mother and my daughter. So I had to solicit finances to get to where my mother was, her final breathing place. Peace be upon her, where my child was in protective custody. where she was left with my mother, and neighbors had to discover my daughter with my dead mother. My own grandmother left me and went to the location. Not to get my daughter because she wasn't the guardian of my child, but to see about her own child. And I'm finding out, now I'm not even going to go there yet. That's a whole nother topic and content I'm going to bring about this family stuff. But, so yeah, my grandmother left me. And at the time, I was having a relationship, or so-called thought I was having a relationship. But I knew I really wasn't being cared for in a relationship. But I was dealing with a man who was a boy at that time, because we were both boys and girls. We were not grown yet. We were both in our 1920s type timeline. I'm going to keep this fan from blowing over there because I'm hot. Yeah, I'm getting hot. Because there's no air in here, and I'm getting deeper. I think I'm starting to feel a little bit of sweat in my pits because the heartstrings are pulling. Heartstrings are pulling. But, I was with this man at the time. We were not grown, full adults, but it was legal that we were adults at the time. And he had been on his own, so I consider him to be kind of grown because he had more going on than myself. I'm a little older than him, though, I find, a few months.